Hi guys, it's Elsie here from Time to Invest. Just wanted to do this quick video about the new things that happen on the economy. Um, this is my video. Today is the 18th of April 2016 from Melbourne, Australia. I'm just broadcasting a couple of new things that had happened. Um, One of the update that I got is that apparently President Obama had a secret meeting with the chairman Yellen, the Federal Reserve of U.S. on April the 10th. Um, the secret meeting is named secret for a reason. That just gave a lot of us an indication that something is really, really wrong with the economy. And Yellen felt compelled and forced and really, really, really compelled that she had to speak to President Obama and she had to discuss a few things that might happen this year. Now, we are not told what the meet was about. We're not told when they had the meeting. The media, the main media, has been very, very secret about it and speculating about it and maintain the whole thing very, very secret. But we all know that the economy is not doing well because if it was doing well, then what's the big deal? What is the secret about it? Um, they didn't have to have anything in secret. They could just bring the media up and explain, oh, we're going to have a meeting because this and that, like they normally do, and all be recorded on the Federal Reserve time, minutes, and things like that. Just wanted to show you this video here. Um, President Obama met the Federal Reserve on Monday, and they're pretty much saying about they caution President Obama will be meeting on Monday, Federal Reserve Chairman Yellen, to discuss the economy and regular issues. So the meeting comes with the central bank and struggling to calibrate its caution campaign to raise interest rates amid a still fragile global economy. So they're telling us that the economy is doing well and there's no issues, there's no um, problems with the economy. Everything is good, honky donkey, and no problem. But in the back, in the secret, they're having those secret meetings. And what they tell in the media, the closed media, is that they're struggling to calibrate the actions and campaigns and to raise interest rates because it's a fragile economy. Um, we can see that they're basically lying and they go against their words. Really, are we actually recovering or are we collapsing? Which one is it? As you can see, if you read the document that was published by Jacob on April the 10th, go on to say that the president and the Fed chairman will be meet privately to discuss the state of the American and the global economy, Wall Street reform, and the long-term economy outlook for the White House, said the statement released on Sunday night. So that's what they had the meeting for. Well, we all know about that. We want to know what was the meeting discussed about. Are they looking to raise the interest rates? Are they looking to lower interest rates? Are they looking to do bailouts? What exactly was the meeting about? Nobody knows. Um, Couple investors and inside investors are speculating that the meeting was about the failing of the banks. Apparently, there's a couple of banks that quickly show you a picture of a couple of banks that um, been doing really, really bad and they are failing big time. Uh, Let me just quickly show you a video if I can find that video. Let's see if I can find it on my editor. There you go. As you can see up there, you have the drilling a deeper hole. So you have the Citibank. This amount is in billions of dollars. So we have the Citibank that total amount in billions of dollars is like 2.5 $5 billion in debt. So they only funded what you see in the green, and the unfunded is what they have in yellow. This chart was taken from a website called Wealth Master, Wealth something. I got this website, this chart from there. It's a really good website. Quickly go on to different. I want to talk about also something that they had discussed. So what's going on with the world, with the banks, and the week? Okay, emergency meetings, bankers submit crashing European banks, and the worst bank report since the Great Recession. So we know that the Great Recession is around the corner, and they don't want to tell us about it because what they're doing is the Federal Reserve prints all the money and gives it to the bank, and the bank buys all the bonds and pay the interest, pay the Federal Reserve with zero interest. So in doing that, it's just exchange of money. There's not really, uh, um, it's just the activity is just exchanging money, buying and selling products, but there's not really like real smart money going around because the all structure is corrupt. And I'll just quickly read you here. This is a documentary by David Hadjit. Um, this page is activist post. It's very good inside this page. Um, so what David is saying here, just about major banks and finance minister of the world's meeting in Washington D.C. This week, the following to Russia's secretary meeting of the Federal Reserve and other incontagious and rare meetings between the Fed chairman and the President of the United States, which is President Obama. Those are the other emergency banks meeting around the world. Cause one to wonder what is going on. Let's not start with the bullets list on the week big bank events. So we just started with the Federal Reserve Board Governor Yellen, who's an expedition, a special meeting on Monday on the closing door session. So they had those talks about it. They had talks about the G20 meeting, the finance ministers had talked about the central banks and the head of state of Washington, D.C. on Tuesday and continue through the Wednesday. Um, the head talks about U.S. banks and widely expecting the week to report the worst quarter financials since the start of the Great Recession. So things are not really looking good. Um, my advice, I think they know what's coming. They do know what's coming, and they're patching up by telling us that there's nothing wrong, everything is okay. And I hope you guys are prepared. Because if you're not prepared, you catch with your pants down, and yeah, they can really, really rape you big time. Um, I advise my subscribers and everyone that watch my videos to just be prepared. Have some cash, save somewhere, and buy some gold and silver, and don't keep them at home. Just keep them in your possession. Doesn't necessarily needs to be a home. You can have some at home. You can have some at the vault somewhere in the city. You can have some in storage boxes and stuff, storage somewhere outside your home. Doesn't necessarily need to be a home. And the reason I say that is because um, I read a documentary about Greece and what happened in Greece when they had the collapse and the government decided to what they decided to do was actually block people from withdraw their money off the cash point machines. And in doing that, let me try and find a documentary about that. And they stop people from withdrawing money. In Greece. So because they stop people from withdrawing money in Greece, what actually happened is um, people could not buy things, they could not sell things, and they were in really, really struggling um, to move on. buy and sell stuff. So people that had money could not um, pull their money up. I think they only could pull €80 a day. So you couldn't really do much with €80. And you go out and you couldn't really do much with €80. Um, People that are out there with business trying to make money, they couldn't really make much money because there isn't much money around, there isn't much money transfer hand to hand, and could not really economy could not really grow. So also what they did is the people that had the gold and silver and the cash at home, they actually had security agencies like secret police and stuff actually go into your home with you to check under your mattresses and under your house if you had any money stashed anywhere. The purpose of that is that they wanted people to spend absolutely everything. They didn't want people to save. And let me try and show you guys instead of just talking about it. Let me see if I can find a documentary about it. But I heard about one of the investors. Um, Intel, and so let me see if I can find anything about a Grace money. Let's say money control, Grace money control, uh, Grace news money control. This probably shows me something in here. Latest Grace update. At that time they were going. It was around when the government had. Um, he had they had mandates for all the banks to only allow people to withdraw €90 a day. And from then on, what they did is all the central intelligences that controls the money system just put email and set up all the cash point machines to only be withdraw €90 a day. So let's say if you've got $500,000 and you're a retired person, you're living in Greece and you have everything and you just want to, go out and spend and have a good time, you can withdraw, let's say 200 a day because that forces everyone to just be on $90 a day. The whole idea was to keep the banks going and the system going because banks only goes bankrupt when everyone pull their money out at the same time is when the banks actually go bankrupt. So if anyone only pulls a low amount a day, then they don't go bankrupt. They're just still going. They are bankrupt, but they're still going because if I walk into the bank and say, "Oh, um, I want $10,000 cash, and for whatever reasons it's my money and I want it today," the bank will find any excuse to not to give you the $10,000 because they work in interest and they work in borrowing. So for every dollar you put in, they borrow $10. So basically, they only have $1 sitting in there. If you come over and you say you want the $10, they don't really want to do that because they have no cash to borrow other people. If everyone do that, then they go bankrupt. They have no money. That's how the system works. So, and that's why the government of Greece, obviously, this was a trial, and this was also a preparation for what's coming. So that's why they put that mandate to see how it goes in Greece and what happens in Greece. Um, let's see here if this says anything. Submit the bailout to plan to avoid hero exits. Da 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 da. 28. And yes, there was. Propose a plan, accept partners to Germany to be kept country of law. Okay, so this is the Ministry of Greece. The what's his name? I'm trying to remember his name. Uh, the Minister of Finance. I'm trying to remember his name. Anyway, carry on. What he did is he put a stop on Tapar had spent in a day handling the items to produce the plan to accept to his partner, especially Fairfield Germany, to return billions of euros in loans to keep the country afloat. So he could not pay he could not pay the German. So he had to put some sort of a stop for people could not withdraw the money because they needed to pay German money in billions of euros. It was something around, there you go, 320 billions in euros to 350 billions in euros, part of any plan. So quickly, go pressure Eurozone, is proposal in the United States. That's not really what I was looking for, but if you Google on the internet, you will find there is uh, information about how they had secret police and secret agencies going around. The bank would tell them that you had this much money and somehow you withdraw the money before, or you should have some at home, or let's say you had 100K and all of a sudden, you've withdraw 50 and then you withdraw 50, a couple of weeks later before that system come in. Obviously, you should have some money at home. So what they will do is they get an agency. They'll give them all your details, your name, everything about you, where you work, and all that kind of stuff. And then they will go home with you, and they actually come into your house, and they actually do like a check around your house everywhere to see if they can find any money around the house, because it was illegal if you had money um, in a house or hiding anywhere around the house. So they're looking to do this possibly this year. The way the things are going, it doesn't look very well. That's why the President Obama had to meet. They had to meet Yellen and discuss about what's going on. I believe Yellen must be telling him we're going to have a really really bad GDP results by the end of this year, and I don't know if I can pull another rabbit out of the bag before the election. So I need to let you know before anything happens, because this has been going for so long. As we can all see, there's no growth because the money that they've borrowed, it's not there's no velocity of that money anymore. So they borrow the money, the banks borrow the money with zero interest. They buy things, they do things, they buy bonds, then and then they have to pay bonds and interest. So it's really a corrupt system and it's not working. And we're waiting for a couple of banks to go this year. As you can see, I'll show you. We know about the Dodgy Bank. What is the other bank? Just have a look at leadings of bank because I have a few leadings of bank here. As you can see, this chart I think I showed you before. So we've got the HSBC right on the top. We've got the BNP, and we have the Credit Agricole Group, and then we have the Deutsche Bank. So just the Deutsche Bank by itself, if you look at some of my videos, part one and part two, it was into I believe something about 60 to 70 trillion dollars in leverage, just in um, leverage money that they didn't have. And this bank here by itself, the Deutsche Bank, it's believed to be something around um, 5 times more leverage than the Lehman Brothers Bank that collapsed in 2008. Um, Proceeding on, so you have the Deutsche Bank, which is 5 times more catastrophic than the Lehman Brothers, and then you have that one. If that's 5 times, then the one on the top, the credit, that's another five, I'll say. The BNB will be another 5 or 5.5, and the BHP will be like, I'll probably say about 7 times more. So if the Deutsche Bank goes, as you can see, the domino effect here, the Barclays will go, Societe Generale will go, Royal Bank Scotland will go, the Bank of Standard will go, the Group BFC go, Lloyds, all those banks here, they all lined up. They all lined up together. They all holding each other's hand. They all borrowing it at the same time, and they all leverage at the same time. Um, so if one goes, they all pretty much lined up to go like a domino effect. That's the problem. That's what Yellen is looking at. That's what the Europe is having the secret meetings with President Obama, and they're meeting with people on the top that can make decisions in printing more money or do a little bit more bailouts to the bank or borrow here, borrow there. Otherwise, there's no need to do that. There's no need to have secret meetings because everything is wonderful, everything is honky donkey. Um, as we can all see, this is all full of baloney, and they're preparing. As you can see here, total assets is in billions of US dollars. So if it's in billions of US dollars, it's $2.5 billion in HSBC. The Dutch bank is 1.9, nearly $2 billion in credits and derivatives. My last video was more concentrated in derivatives. So let's just quickly check what the Dutch bank is doing today, the share of the Dutch bank. So I'll quickly go to Yahoo website, and I've got the Dutch bank all linked to my account. Quickly show you what's showing today. Um, my last video was 13.99. Today is April the 18th, 2016, Australia broadcast. Today is 15.23. So it's only gone down 0.75%. And this is in Europe, obviously. And it's not such a big deal. But the thing is that this bank was $108 per share, euro dollars per share, and now is $15.23 per share. So as you can see, they've lost 85% of the share value they've lost in just 2 years. From 2014 to today, they've lost 85% of the share. So I don't know. To me, that just shows that I don't think they can ever go back to what they used to be. I think they too over leverage, and derivatives are going to fall really, really bad, and that's why everyone is worried. So if you in the bank and you're in the bond and you're buying shares, my advice to you is get out and get out fast because we don't have much time there. Only thing is going to survive is going to be gold, silver, things with value and exchange, hand exchange, really with value, and that's what the problem is. The problem is right here, and let's see here. I'll quickly show you here. There's a 5 year. I can show you, as we can see here, today is April the 16th, April the 18th. So it's 15.24. And if I go back here to the top there, is 41, as you can see at the top there. So it's 42.6 dollars per share. But I'll go to quickly show you maximum amount, and let's go to the top of this pyramid there. 98.39, 98.40 cents per share. And as you can see, if you keep going back, this is 2008, yeah, and then we have that collapse 2008. So if you keep going back to there, 2000, well, what does it say there? 98, well, $98 per share, 98 euro dollars per share, and now it's 15. You can see how much value this bank has lost. So I don't think anyone else is buying it. To be honest, I think the only people buying is the government. This is the Bank of Germany, so you just have like officials from Germany or Federal Reserve of Germany are buying those kind of shares, and they're keeping the system going. And the real people, the real smart people, are not buying. And then you probably have a couple of dickheads that know nothing about shares or market, probably just buying on the belief that, oh, this is the best time to buy because it's so low. And oh, when he reaches 100 euros again, I'm gonna be fucking rich. But they have no idea what's happening because they're not looking at completely market going down. What they're looking is just the value of the dollar, and then they're working out, well, if in 2008 it's been that high, and we're coming up to nearly, well, I mean, 8 years later, is this low? So the next thing is going to go up. Well, you don't know that because it can go broke, you can go bankrupt like the Lehman Brothers and close. And if you've got your money in there, you might lose everything. That's what the big investors are saying, and most of the people are out of that bank. They're not really playing with that anymore. Um, I hope I show you guys something very valuable today, and I appreciate your comments at the bottom. I see a few people dropping their comments. I much appreciate it. And I tell you right now, if you're not interested in the market, you're not interested in the economy, don't watch my videos. Don't bother. And just go to your day-to-day job and do your work, go home and go to sleep, and do not worry about it. If you are interested, drop your comments. I'll be more than happy to communicate with you and exchange information with you guys, because you know all along the years I don't really talk to people who are not interested about the economy. If they're not interested about the economy, then I shouldn't be giving them good information for free, really. um, the ones that have been dropping good comments are much appreciated, and I really appreciate your comments, and I wish you can list some videos as well so we can exchange some good things between us. And yeah, so it's all good. I'm not going to stay much longer, guys. Much appreciated. As you can see, things are coming down, and they're coming down fast this year. You have to watch the banks. The banks is um, the central. The banks are the target, and it looks like the Fed is going to have to worldwide. Is going to have to do QEs, I mean big time QEs this year, starting this year, um, because the China they're having another meeting on the 19th of April, and on the 2nd of October this year, China is going to become part of the world currency with yuan. So we are expecting that yuan is going to be number one, and then as you can see, they're printing too much US currency, and people probably will be just buying more yuan. And if the Bank of China says, "Oh, by the way, we're gonna back the yuan with gold that we have," I think the all US dollar will just go. Um, in saying that, China it's not really in good sort of perspective as well. China is doing really bad, and they're gonna have to collapse before they um, recovery. So when the China collapse, when the US collapse, and the Europe collapse, then we can all concentrate in buying and projecting, for the new future, for the new cycle, and on and on. Until then, there's no point. And a lot of investors have done their maths, and they've seen that there's nothing to buy, and that's why we all working around the circle, trying to pretend things are going well. To you too. All right, bye.